Thank you, Artbuzz team, for inviting me on this talk. Probably this is the first time I'm talking about my entrepreneurship journey and how it has started. So I'm excited to share my views and my experiences about starting the company. I hope it will help the audience to understand how the company is started, what happens, what are the ups and downs that you go through your life when you become an entrepreneur, and I'm glad to be here. ओके, तो सीसीटेक का जन्म आईआईटी बॉम्बे में हुआ था। जब मैं आईआईटी में गया था, आई मेट अ fantastic guy named Sandeep Jadhav. He had a deep passion for technology. He always wanted to start something of his own. Eventually, over the 3 years of our stay at IIT Bombay, I became a very good friend of Sandeep. And Sandeep invited me to join the company. We did one iteration when we were at a final year of our masters, which did not turn out. And then later on, we joined the jobs. And after 10 months, again, Sandeep said that we want to start a company. And I became a part of it. So my inspiration of starting an entrepreneurship, it might sound little cliche or how do I name it, non-passionate. But my inspiration to join a company is an opportunity to work with the best friend probably for rest of the life. So that was the first inspiration I had to be a part of CCTech, because Sandeep is a fantastic person. He always has a passion for the technology. He is excellent friend. I knew that at any point of time, if I need any help in my life, he is the guy who will come forward and help me all the way. And what is the better chance to continue that friendship for lifelong uh, than that is the reason why I said yes, I want to be a part of this company. So that was one of the inspirational point. There was some kind of a secondary inspiration that I am a technology guy. I also wanted to do something in terms of technology. Computational fluid dynamics was the area that I was working with. And I thought if I start a company, I will get opportunity to explore that technology more, explore the boundaries of its application, and probably make that technology reaching to masses. So that was kind of a secondary inspiration why I started a company. But the primary one was to spend rest of my life with probably one of the best friends that I had. Okay, so at earlier stage there were multiple challenges. One of the biggest one was रोजी रोटी कहाँ से आएगी, क्योंकि हम लोग जब जॉब कर रहे थे तो ढंग का सैलरी था, life was chill. But when we thought that we will start a company, the first question was पैसा कहाँ से आएगा. So that was the first challenge that we had to overcome. The second challenge was to say no to so-called as good careers. We academically, I was good. Academically, after my academics, I in fact got a good job. It was a settled life per se. The next challenge was at the early stage is to say no to those comforts and go into the area which is unknown and turbulent. That was the second challenge. Third challenge was we wanted to be a product company since beginning. When we thought of we'll start a company, we always thought that our company is going to be a product company. But at the initial stage, we realized, at very early stage, we realized that the product, if you want to be a product company, you have to have a very strong product idea. And because we wanted to do something in deep technology, the typical roadmap of the product for deep technology is about 4 or 5 years. So how do we sustain on in those 4 5 years? So the next challenge which was thrown in front of us at the initial stage is probably pivot from that idea that right now probably will not do a product company but will do something else. So deciding what something else was the big challenge. We decided to start with the training activities. So the next challenge we faced at the initial stage is to educate both the students as well as the industry that this is the training that we would need, and this is how exactly the needs will be satisfied. So making them aware, educating them was one more challenge that we faced at the initial stage. Okay, I define entrepreneurship as a roller coaster ride, as everyday battle, everyday war. I will define entrepreneurship as sacrifices every day, every week, every month, every year. I define entrepreneurship. So this was the so-called, as sorry, but thoda sa खराब वाला part. But अच्छा वाला part है, I define entrepreneurship as fun. I define entrepreneurship as happiness. I define entrepreneurship as probably doing something that you love to do. That is what my definition of entrepreneurship is. And I define entrepreneurship as a group of people coming together, seeing the same dream, and passionate about making that dream successful. That is what I define entrepreneurship as. In terms of a quality of entrepreneurship, how do I put it कि एक कंपनी जो होता है वो एंटरप्रेन्योर का बच्चा होता है. तो बच्चे के लिए आप जो भी करोगे ना, तो वो सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को करना पड़ता है. मतलब बच्चे को सहलाना, नहलाना, धुलाना, बच्चे को डांटना, बच्चे के लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ें सैक्रिफाइस करना, ये सारी क्वालिटीज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और जो भी एंटरप्रेन्योर बनता है उसमें होनी चाहिए और उसमें वो होती है. आई मीन दैट इज व्हाट आई define as a quality of entrepreneurship. One of the quality that I feel is very critical is the passion, is the willingness to do sacrifices in your life, is keeping others in front of you when it comes to the success, and other way when it comes to the failure. That is what I feel are the qualities of entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. Okay, अभी भी मैं नहीं बोलूँगा कि we are stand out. अभी भी फाइट चल रही है लाइफ की. अभी भी हमें पता नहीं है कि हमारी स्ट्रेटजी क्या है to make ourselves stand out. बट शायद अभी हमें ये पता है कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए ताकि हम लोग how do I put it, मरेंगे नहीं. We'll keep ourselves floating. We keep ourselves sailing. हमें पता है कि हमें क्या करना है. अगर स्ट्रैटेजी वाइज पूछते हो, एज आई सेड, दिस इज ऑल द पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड स्पेशली व्हाट वी हैव बीन डूइंग एट सीसीटेक. मेरे ख्याल से 2-3 एस्पेक्ट है व्हेन इट कम्स टू अ सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस. आई वुड से द फर्स्ट एस्पेक्ट इज द टीम, द पीपल. what is that you are doing to make sure that you attach more and more people, you align more and more people to the dream, the vision, the mission that you are looking at. That is what, as an entrepreneur you need to think, because you would need people first. I mean, that is the first basic element of any business. What kind of people that you have. So you have to have some strategy to make sure that you keep aligning more and more people towards your mission, towards your vision. You have to make sure that more and more people feel that they are the owner of the organization. Now, I would not define per se the strategy, what strategy that, because it will depend on the way the organization is, it will depend on the DNA of the organization. What is that you do to make sure that you attach more and more people to align towards your mission and vision. But I think that is the first point that you need to think about, is what is that I am doing to associate more and more people towards your mission. That is the first thing that you need to take care. The second thing is, I think your question also says it's a turbulent environment, competitive market. The second thing that you need to make sure is what is your root, what is your base, what is, for example, what is the technology that you want to work in, what is the area you want to work in. You will get lot of opportunities in your whole journey. In our CCTech's 15-year journey, we got so many opportunities which are outside the boundaries of our vision, boundaries of our area, boundaries of our domain. You have to have some mechanism, some thought process, some strategy to make sure that you say no to those and you stick to what you want to do as a company. So you have to have some mechanism, some strategy, some methodology to make sure that you stick to your own area of interest, your own domain. So that is the second thing that you need to do. And third thing is, of course, it depends on how do I call it, what is the size of the company, because a startup with 10-15 people looks very different than probably a small size company with 200 employees. Then so depending on the size of the company, the strategies will change. For example, when we talk about a company like 1,000 people or 2,000 people, the most critical aspect of the business will become what kind of a processes that you have established within the company. So you have to have some strategy about what is that I'm going to do when I scale up. Today I'm 10 people, tomorrow I'm going to be 100 people. So what is that I need to do when I scale up? So you have to have some mechanism or some strategy about making sure that you are well prepared for that particular scale up. So that is one. And as I said in the previous answer to previous question, is all the strategies will come in a place only if you love what you do. So make sure that you have to have some strategy to do what you love to do. If you just focus on one aspect of your life, probably the financial aspect of your business, then probably it may collapse down the line few years. So you have to have some strategy to bring in the balance in terms of the finance, in terms of your passion, in terms of mission, vision of the company. You have to bring in that balance and then move. Okay, so we took a lot of risk. So I will divide these risks into two categories. One is the personal risks which I have taken in my life to be an entrepreneur, and second, the risk which organization has taken. So these are the two categories of the risk I would like to answer. The first is the personal risk. So when you become an entrepreneur, you have to say no to many standard, so-called as a happiness aspects of life. I would not say you would not have other than the entrepreneur life. I would not say that you would have it, but you have to sacrifice things in your personal life. When it comes to your family time, when it comes to a time given to be given to your relatives, when it comes to your own so-called as non-aligned passions of the company. For example, I used to play TT. I used to play cricket. I had to say no to some of those things at early stage of my life because you have a limited time. You have only 24 hours in a day, and you have to be very very choosy about how do we spend those 24 hours, because your company would need a lot of time and lot of love of yours. So it is not about per se. So I have taken a risk of saying no to some things at early stage of my life, and it has benefited a lot. At later stage of my life, I brought in the balance. But at the initial stage, I took a risk of saying no. I took a risk of saying no to so-called as a conventional settlement of life. पढ़ाई करो, नौकरी करो, अच्छा पगार कमाओ, फिर शादी करो, फिर बच्चे हो जाएंगे और फिर ये हो गए. ये कन्वेंशनल रोड मैप है अगर हम लोग देखते हैं तो. I took a risk of saying no to that roadmap. But today, if I look back, I think I am at much better place. I am at much better stage to make sure that I will keep enjoying what I. But let's see. In terms of a company, I think risk is every day for a company. Every once in a while we have to take a decision. We have to say no to few things, we have to say yes to few things, and every decision carries a risk. For example, we pivoted our product idea almost 7 8 times. We probably have scrapped some of the awesome product ideas to make sure that we get one that we would love to pursue for a decade or so, and we took a risk of saying no to them. We also had to do a lot of financial investments which are long term. For example, we heavily invest in our R&D activities. They would not convert into a business immediately, but we had to keep doing it because probably down the line 2 3 years it will somehow get converted to either a business. Somehow it will help us to realize our vision, so on and so forth. So we have to take a risk of investing in the activities, R&D activities, and so on and so forth. We have to take a risk of hiring some people. You have to take risk of letting some people go. So everywhere every decision carries a risk along with it. The recent one, we are trying to establish our footprints in other countries, and there is a lot of risk involved in it. Probably we'll be burning out some of our savings, some of our cushion, but that is the risk that we need to take, because if we don't take it, probably we might be missing the opportunity. So when you talk about a business, every decision carries certain aspect of a risk. You have to evaluate the risk, and you have to weigh the risk and the returns, and then see what makes sense. Building a strong team is very very crucial for any business. You have to have very strong strategies to make sure that you assemble a good team. Now, what we follow at CCTech is okay. So, what we follow at CCTech is following. First, we understand that every person has some sort of aspirations, some sort of roadmap of his life. The first thing that we follow is we try to understand what are the aspirations of that person, and what is the roadmap of his life. Forget about his job and so on and so forth, but वो लाइफ में करना क्या चाहता है, वो लाइफ में जाना क्या कहाँ चाहता है, उसको अच्छा क्या लगता है, वो आज जी क्यों रहा है, व्हाट इज द पर्पस, व्हाई ही इज लिविंग टुडे. ये सारी चीजें अंडरस्टैंड करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है व्हेन यू ट्राई टू असेंबल द टीम. The moment you understand those aspirations, then you will get an opportunity to ask yourself a question whether those aspirations of the person are aligned with the aspirations of the organization. क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी वही जाना चाहता है, क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी वही करना चाहता है कि जो बंदा वो करना चाहता है. अगर वो अलाइनमेंट है तो व्हाट वी कॉल इन आवर लीडरशिप इज रेस्ट इज डाउनहिल. वो बाकी सारी चीजें ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाती है. इफ यू आर एबल टू अलाइन the aspiration of the person towards the aspiration of the company, then rest will be a very smooth walk. So the first thing that we need to do when we are assembling the team is understanding their aspirations. The second thing is we are all humans, and humans are not perfect. I am not perfect. I have done so many mistakes in my life. Everybody is not perfect. So when I say so, everybody will do some sort of a mistakes. I do a lot of mistakes. So when we try to assemble a team, we should make sure that we have an environment of a trust, wherein people will not afraid of doing any mistake. They will say that okay, mistake किया तो सारी टीम है मेरे साथ, सब लोग मिलके संभाल लेंगे. तो ये environment बनाना, और इस एनवायरनमेंट को बनाने में जो लोग मदद करते हैं, जिनका ये अप्रोच होता है कि पीपल कैन डू मिस्टेक्स, इट्स फाइन, लेट्स लर्न समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट एंड लेट्स गो अहेड. तो ये एक माइंडसेट होता है. उस माइंडसेट के लोगों को जोड़ना, दैट इज वेरी क्रूशियल व्हेन वी असेंबल द टीम. थर्ड, which is very important aspect while assembling a team, is there is a very famous book or quote is leader eat the last. मतलब वो लीडर जो होता है वो सबसे एंड में खाना खाता है, सबके बाद खाना खाता है. So this is behavior of thinking bigger than what we call it is thinking bigger than self. मतलब मुझे पहले ना रखे, बाकी लोगों को रखे, उनका टेक केयर करना, ये एक माइंडसेट होता है, एक मेंटेलिटी होता है. When you are assembling a team, you have to make sure that you assemble those people who think bigger than self. Because when you do entrepreneurship, you have to have a team जहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे decisions लेने पड़ते हैं जहाँ पे the last piece of the pie is what you will eat if it is there. Else you will distribute the complete cake or the pie to others. And that would need a lot of courage, that would need a mindset of thinking bigger than self. And that is what we need to look at when we assemble a team, whether the person has that mindset or not. The last one, which is I think I see, is whether people are passionate about what they are doing. Passion is, I would say, a blood of the organization. If passion is not there, the organization body is dead. It is as important as the blood in your body. So you have to have a team which is really passionate about things, and if they are passionate about the realization of mission and vision of the organization, awesome. But they have to have a passionate. मरे मरे लोगों के साथ आप बिजनेसेस नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें आती है जहाँ पे पैशन ही आपको ड्राइव करता है, बिकॉज दैट इज द ओनली हुक दैट यू कैन गेट. So you have to have people who are really passionate about something. So that is one attribute that we need to look at when we assemble the team. Okay, तो ये वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस जो है ना वो मिथ है, अगर आप मुझे पूछते हो तो वो धोखा है. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस करके चीज. एक ही चीज होती है, अगर आप मुझे पूछते हो बैलेंस के केस में, तो एक ही चीज होती है कि हाउ मच टाइम यू आर स्पेंडिंग ऑन डूइंग समथिंग दैट यू लव and how much time you are spending on doing something you don't love. So that is the balance. For example, and you will always find a time to do what you love. You will always have enough time to do what you love. So when you talk about work life balance, तो बैलेंस में इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में शायद ड्रॉ करना चाहूंगा कि हाउ मच वर्क दैट यू आर डूइंग व्हिच यू लव, हाउ मच वर्क दैट यू आर डूइंग व्हिच यू डोंट लव. एंड इफ यू कैन ब्रिंग इन दैट बैलेंस, you will always find a balanced life. For example, I love to spend time with my family, with my kids especially. I always find a time to, I always find time to spend some quality time with them. प्रोजेक्ट कितना भी फटा रहेगा, ऑफिस में कितनी भी मारामारी होती रहेगी, तो शायद वो टाइम मैं निकाल ही पाता हूँ, बिकॉज आई लव टू स्पेंड टाइम विद देम. तो सुबह के कुछ 1 घंटे होंगे, शाम को कुछ 1 घंटा होगा, ये भी होगा. सपोज बहुत ही मारामारी चल रही है तो 1 महीना मैं बस काम के पीछे ही पड़ा हूं, बट आफ्टर दैट आई मेक श्योर दैट कि 1-2 दिन या 1 हफ्ते का छुट्टी लेके आई मेक श्योर दैट ऑल थिंग्स आर टेकन केयर. सो आई वुड नॉट से you have to strive for a work life balance. You have to strive for what you love and what you don't love and bring in the balance for it. और ये वर्ड्स तो मुझे पसंद ही नहीं है कि आप बोलते हैं कि वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस. तो वर्क लाइफ नहीं है क्या? अदर देन वर्क इज लाइफ, ऐसा वो कुछ सीन है क्या? अगर वर्क आपका लाइफ नहीं है तो फिर वो वर्क आप कर क्यों रहे हो? Why exactly you are doing the work wherein you are saying it's not a life, right? If you love your work, you will have a balance. If you love so-called as non-work, you will have a balance. So मेरे लिए वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का डेफिनेशन ये है कि अगर if you are really passionate about what you do, if you really love what you do, you will always find a time to do that. You will not feel exhausted, you will not feel de-energized, you will not feel drained. In fact, it is other way, you will feel drained when you don't do what you love to do. तो मेरे लिए वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का डेफिनेशन वो है. It's not work life balance for me, it is what I love to do and what I don't love to do and bringing in the balance between these two. तो ये मेरा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का डेफिनेशन. Okay, what advice I would give, I am not sure if I am big enough to give the advice, but I will try my best. I will just give advice based on the experiences that I have. I think the first advice I will give is when you start a business, think about the purpose, why you are starting a business. And I will strongly recommend the purpose should not be earning the money and getting early retirement. That should not be the purpose. Think about something else. Think about what is the purpose for which you are starting a business. What is the one change that you would like to bring in the society? How humanity will look different because of your impact of a business. Think about those. Connect your business ideas or thing to the purpose. That is the first advice I would give. Strong advice. The second advice I would give is make sure that you build really a connected, aligned team when you start a business, because that is what will be needed in the turbulent zones. Money will not help because money may not be always there. But if you have really connected and aligned team who are seeing the dream that you have seen, who are passionate about making that dream realize, come to the reality, that will help you to make your business sustainable. So the second advice I would give is build a very strong, passionate, aligned, connected team. And the third thing which I will give is advice I will give is uh, have okay, do a business only if you have a deep level of satisfaction about what you do. You have to be really happy about what you are doing. You should not rely on some external factors of happiness. For example, पूरे वीक में बहुत वाट लगा के काम किया और मेरा हैप्पीनेस इस फ्राइडे रात को 2 बियर पीने के बाद मेरे को हैप्पीनेस मिला, ऐसा नहीं है. यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट एवरी मोमेंट, एवरी डे ऑफ योर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी, you feel happy about it, you feel good about what you have done, because I think that will help you to keep pushing lot of boundaries and overcome the challenges that will come across when you become an entrepreneur. और एंटरप्रेनर बोलते हैं, इतना बड़ा हवा नहीं है. सिंपल चीज है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. बिजनेस करना सिंपल चीजें होती है. इतना कुछ उसमें रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करना. एक्सपेरिमेंट करते रहो, ट्राई देते रहो और उसी से खुशियाँ एक्सट्रैक्ट करो. वो सिंपल चीज़ है. सो आई थिंक वन एडवाइस आई विल गिव इज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करना, जो हवा बोलते हैं उसको उनके ऊपर बिलीव मत करो. और आप एंटरप्रेन्योर बनोगे तो भी आप खुद भी हवा मत करो, क्योंकि इतनी कुछ बड़ी चीज़ होती नहीं है वो. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.